Hello, this is Ramvi, and you are on Comics Online.
We're back here at Comic-Con 2024 on the roof of the DC booth here today with Ram V. Ram?
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. It's been a year. You've gone through a lot, several series. You've moved around, and now DC has announced just today or yesterday?
Today at a panel, yeah.
That you are going to take over New Gods.
Yes. Well, relaunch it, really. Yeah.
Well, right.
Yeah.
Start a whole new God series.
Yeah.
Now I know you can't spoil a lot of things, but what's your approach?
Well, I've always thought superheroes were contemporary mythology, and I grew up in India, and I grew up around mythological stories, and everyone always says like Indian mythology is so amazing and complex, and it's not been used anywhere. So I went, well, I love superheroes as mythology, and I want to do contemporary mythology. What better place to do it than New Gods? So I'm bringing some Indian mythology inspiration, but I'm taking a lot of what Kirby built with his original Fourth World stuff. So
any new characters, perhaps?
Yeah, there will definitely be new characters. In fact, the plot is kind of centered around the arrival of a new god. So yeah.
Well, what has been announced so far? Because running around doing interviews, we don't always get the full deal that the rest of the fans do when they arrive at the panel.
Sure. I mean, the announcement's been pretty basic, but I revealed at the panel that the initial story will center around High Father and Light Ray, Orion, Mr. Miracle, Big Barda. The emotional story underlying everything is going to be about fatherhood, because the classic Kirby stuff is already centered around a sibling relationship and the exchanging of heirs to prevent war. So we're kind of taking from there and making it contemporary and making it about being a brother and being a father and those competitive things. Yeah.
I'm trying really hard to stick on DC here. It's difficult for me because I'm the guy who's been gushing about your other recent work like crazy on the internet. Do the New Gods have any favorite recipes that you might share in the middle of the New Gods book?
We haven't gotten that far to those sort of very important parts of the plot. But no, I appreciate all the love you've shown so far for Rare Flavors and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
When it comes to established mythology, be it Indian or any Earth mythology, will we see any of those sorts of things pop up as well? Including the meta ones like the Themyscians and that sort of thing.
Oh, sure. I mean, not overtly, but the structure I'm using for the story, sort of the elements of the plot, come from the Indian version of the end of the world myth, like the Ragnarok myth, but from a Hindu mythology perspective.
What is the end of the world myth?
I'm gonna have
to read about it.
You're just making me spell out the plot here.
Okay. We're gonna have to. Well, your Rare Flavors made me going, oh man, now I have to read I don't even know.
History of Bakasur. Yeah. I mean, I can say this. Basically, there's the arrival of a new god is prophesied to be on Earth. And that sort of upsets the status quo around New Genesis and Apocalypse.
Because a lot of what they have going is very, structured.
Yes. And so this kind of upends that status quo. Everyone's scrambling around to figure out, is he going to be a good guy? Is he going to be a bad guy? Whose side is he going to be on? And that ties into the sort of mythology aspect of it that I talked about. There's a prophecy about him. He's going to have to find certain immortals in the DCU, and he's going to have to take powers from them. And how does that upend everything? And so this is also, I think, a great opportunity to bring the New God stuff and really sort of crash it into the DCU mainstream universe, and then what are the implications of that? So
a lot of times it's kind of set aside.
It's not
you
off
had to
in
take
a
a
corner
boom
on its own
to get there.
Yeah. So all that stuff, the events that have preceded it have meant that the multiverse has been closed off. So what implications does that have?
Yeah.
And we're gonna see the New Gods characters kind of interacting with mainstream DCU characters. So Superman's involved, Wonder Woman's involved, Green Lantern's involved, and I don't think we've seen that before. Where
not very often, not in my recollection.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to you mentioned Big Barda, she has been just so good in that Birds of Prey.
Yeah, she's amazing,
series.
and Kelly's amazing.
Is she going to be continuing on with Birds of Prey as well, or have you grabbed her for a little bit?
I'm not aware of what the plans are for that book, but she's definitely part of this book. So if she's in both books, then Kelly and I have some talking to do.
Fair.
But I know Kelly's also busy. I think she's taking on Absolute Wonder Woman.
Right, because the new Absolute is starting.
Yeah. And so the Big Barda has a huge role to play here. Like I said, the emotional stuff is about fatherhood, and Scott Free in this book has just become a new father.
Oh wow!
With Big Barda, obviously, and
after all this time,
and what are the implications of that? How do you balance between having a family, choosing whether you put them in danger or not, and choosing to go do this other stuff that is also important?
Right.
So,
do you bring your kids to Comic-Con? That's a shaky subject.
Do you expose them to the throngs of Comic-Con? But also, do you want them to see and be part of the world that you are? So all of those things, I think they're really wonderful things, really simple human things that you and I recognize. But when we apply them to God, suddenly the drama and the conflict is ramped up.
Yeah. So. Who'd you get for your artist on this?
Evan Cagle, my good friend Evan Cagle, is the artist on the book.
Nice.
He just completed Dawn Runner, which was our book at Dark Horse. If you want any indication of how crazy the book is going to look, pick up that book and have a look. I think Evan's an amazing artist.
Cool.
Eisner nominated for his detective covers as well. So
I think that's where I remember him from.
Yeah, we're very excited for people to really look at the sort of scope and scale of this. Yeah.
When it comes to your other DC books, are they continuing? Are they?
Well, I'm off Detective. I believe Tom Taylor is taking on Detective.
Okay.
After my run ends, which is very exciting for that book.
Yeah.
I know I'm working on another project, but we'll probably keep that under wraps for a little while longer.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. What sort of time frame? 6 months out, sort of thing?
No, probably sooner than that.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't want to commit to a time because
fair
I'm
enough.
like,
you never know.
Yeah, I don't want to put that deadline on my artist.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anything else that we should know about your work, whether it be DC or elsewhere?
No, I'm largely just focusing on this. New Gods is going to take up a lot of my time. I want to make sure it's great. I've done a lot of work over the past couple of years. I kind of want to slow down and do less but more interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And I think New Gods is really an opportunity to do that. I had a great 2 years on Detective, such a big book.
Yeah.
So I had a choice. What did I want to do after Detective? I said, well, give me the toys that nobody's looking at. Give me the toys that nobody's playing with, because I want to revitalize them. I want to do new things with them. So yeah.
I really can't wait to check it out. And
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more here at Comics Online.